Morning, everybody. My name is Drew Franklin, Drewfranklin. I'm a member of the Washoe Education Association and an ambassador for the Nevada State Education Association. I'm a special education teacher in Reno at Innovations High School, here to talk about education. If we haven't figured out by now that our schools are suffering, clearly we're over here doing something wrong. We are underfunded. This is not a policy problem. This isn't No Child Left Behind or Every Student Succeeds. It shouldn't be a partisan problem. We don't have enough teachers, and we don't have enough mental health personnel to help our students. We locked down during COVID, and our children paid the price for that. That combined with crippling addiction to their cell phones, they need help. They need more mental health services in our school. Stepping aside from the morality of just taking care of our children, I wanted to talk a little bit about labor. A benchmark for a highly skilled labor force can be the percentage of people employed in STEM fields. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2018, Nevada had the second lowest percentage when compared to the other states. When we have a poor education system, that impacts other things, and it impacts our labor force. We can't be spending money on baseball, basketball, and F1 races. We need to prioritize education over entertainment. Please help us pass a plan. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Alexander Marks with the Nevada State Education Association. I was reading the Reno Gazette Journal this morning, and there was a special op-ed in there written by Susan Kaiser, NSEA member and president of the Washoe Retired Education Association. So I'd like to read a little bit of her piece entitled, "Now's the Moment to Bring Nevada's Classrooms to the National Average in Per Pupil Funds." Quote, "Many things have changed over the past few decades in Washoe County, but one thing has not changed, and that's the underfunding of our schools. Nevada remains near the bottom of the nation in per pupil funding and at the top of in class size. As the governor and Nevada legislature debate dividing up the budget among many important priorities, let's work together to keep the focus on a brighter future for our kids and our economy. When our economy bounced back from the pandemic more quickly than anticipated, Nevada's coffers overflowed. In their wisdom, the 2023 legislature allocated a large infusion to public schools, specifically to staunch the loss of qualified educators leaving the classroom. Sadly, these pinpoints of lights are not enough to create the learning experience which matches the new or refurbished buildings we have in Washoe County. We have arrived at a crossroads. Every child deserves the opportunity for success in education, and every child would benefit from the adequate, consistent, long-term funding of our schools in the state. Multiple studies have laid out a clear and researched solution, but none more deftly than the plan provided by the Commission on School Funding back in 2019. Their target is to reach the national average in per pupil funding in 10 years, and to generate sustainable revenue. The plan asserts the need to modernize our tax code as particularly outlined in Assembly Joint Resolution 1. In 2023, we took a big step in the right direction, and today Nevada is still over $4,000 per pupil behind the national average, and no progress has been made to create sustainable funding moving forward. This session presents an opportunity to work together as a coalition again to speak together for those who cannot, Nevada's children. Nevada's kids shouldn't face another decade without adequate funding. It's time to pass the plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead when you're ready.
Hi. Good morning. My name is Kimberly Gray. I'm currently a school counselor at O'Brien Middle School located in the North Valleys area of Reno. We are a trauma-impacted Title I school that serves almost 1,100 students. This is my second year as a school counselor. Prior to this role, I was a special education teacher and instructional lead. I hold 2 master's degrees, one in school counseling and one in special education. I'm also trained as a restorative practice educator for the district. Prior to working in education, I worked for Costco for almost 20 years. I'm grateful for my years at Costco as it allowed me to continue my education, which was a huge goal for me. I'm a first-generation graduate and extremely passionate about public education. It was through the district and Costco that I was able to achieve my lifelong dream to become a school counselor, but that was not always the case. I honestly do not know who my school counselor was in high school. I never had a conversation with them. I wish I did. I made the brilliant decision to drop out of high school in February of my senior year, like so many of our students are now. I was only 2 classes short of graduating with my class. I feel like if I had had a conversation with a supportive individual like a school counselor, maybe I would have made a different decision. Our school counselors are given an enormous task of supporting our teachers and students. The list of their responsibilities grow each year and our caseloads get bigger and bigger. The same goes for our teachers, especially our special education teachers. I'm asking that you give us the tools that we need and funds to do our jobs properly so that we can have those conversations with students before they drop out. You cannot say you value public education and pass a budget that keeps us near the bottom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Kern. I'm a teacher at Nick Polakitis Elementary in Reno, Nevada, and I've been teaching for 13 years. I have a dual major bachelor's degree from the University of Nevada, and I have an endorsement in English language acquisition. I've been published for my work with young children in the NACE Journal, and I currently teach general ed kindergarten. This year, I have 3 strategies students in my classroom. For all that don't know, the strategies program is a program designed to help teach students with autism. The 3 students from the program come to the classroom without any kind of aid or support staff because of lack of funding. It is extremely difficult to find qualified teachers and assistants to fill and stay in the program. These hard-to-fill positions have a direct impact on our most vulnerable students, students with special needs, and we are failing them. I am a huge advocate for the inclusion of all students, but I am also just one person that is managing and teaching an entire classroom that's already bursting at the seams. My students and strategies push in during the most impactful time of the day, our core curriculum. Some of the needs are severe, extreme sensitivities, speech delays, and behavior concerns. These students, who oftentimes struggle with noisy environments, are pushed into an already full classroom, which is even more stimulating. Just imagine how that looks in a kindergarten classroom where we're building the foundation of their education. And I have zero help. I have no one to turn to because we have so many unfilled positions for that program at my school alone every single day. Our lack of funding to find, hire, and retain qualified staff is unacceptable, and it's directly impacting all of our students. Our most at-risk students are not receiving the instruction they're laid out in their IEP. Our typical developing students are not getting the attention they so need and deserve to progress academically. It's frustrating. I can't do the job that I was hired to do because I'm left to do the impossible job of several people. This proposed funding is not enough. It hasn't been enough, and we're not asking for extras. We're just asking for enough. Our Nevada students deserve more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
Good morning. My name is Melinda Bauer, B-O-W-E-R. I've been a secondary teacher in Washoe County School District for 15 years. I serve as a WEA union representative, and most importantly, I'm a parent of an incoming public school student. Today, I represent the voices of every teacher, parent, and student that I know when I say the proposed education budget is not enough. After reading the governor's State of Education address, I was struck by the disconnect between his words and the reality of the budget proposal. A proposed increase of just $2 per pupil sends a clear message. Parents are not being heard, and our state is already failing to do better. In his address, the governor acknowledges that we desperately need to invest more in vocational high schools and make programs more available to students. But we don't need to turn to charter schools to find these opportunities. We already have them, and they're underfunded. At my high school, McQueen, there are 329 students that have requested to take culinary arts next year. We have one chef who can accommodate 144 students. That means that 57% of our currently interested students will be turned away next year. And for the 144 who do get in, they'll be cooking in 6 kitchens from 1982. We have not been able to revitalize our kitchens. The total program budget is just $1,000 for the entire year for all of these students. That's $7 per student. Our automotive program was canceled last year due to lack of funding. Our construction program is all that's left, and it's facing the same challenges. We have over 160 students signed up for next year, but with only one teacher, only 144 students can take this course. His entire program operates on $800 total from our district. Have you been to Home Depot lately? It's not going to go far. To make up the difference, our students are expected to pay an $80 lab fee. This is not equitable, it's not accessible, and it doesn't live up to the governor's promise that regardless of household income or where a child lives, that every student deserves opportunity in our district. The Commission on School Funding has clearly outlined what our students need. When you choose to follow that guidance, it is then that we can honestly say that we value our children and our education. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Senator Dondera Loop. and the other members. My name is Kaylee Krentz for the record, K-A-L-Y-K-R-E-N-T-Z. And I normally have it all together and written down, but today I really wanted to come talk to you guys and just kind of face-to-face have this conversation with you. I'm here on behalf of myself, but I'm also the middle school director for Washoe Education Association. I'm their social justice chair and their communications chair. So as you would assume, hopefully, I hear a lot from our teachers about the struggles they have. I also teach at a Title I school, O'Brien Middle School, where we have probably more electives than any other school site. And that's done because our admin recognizes that the students within our community don't always have the opportunity to continue on to higher education. And that's a shame. And the reason that is because of the inequitable income that comes to our school. For example, I teach choir, and I get $500 a year, which you think, oh, choir, you don't need anything. You're just singing, right? No, I need uniforms for them to wear to perform. I need music. I need so many other things to make their job successful, and I can't. So I have to fundraise. For example, I'm supposed to be taking a group of them to Las Vegas next week for a conference where they get to sing with some of the best in the state. So they get to audition, and the best students in Nevada come together. I unfortunately had to break the news to them yesterday that I cannot be in charge of taking them, and I have to hope and pray that my low socioeconomic students' parents can take them to Las Vegas to participate in this activity because we did not fundraise enough. For me, this is heartbreaking because it's electives and things like sports and trades and other things that bring them to our schools every single day. In my community, where there's a constant fear of several different things, electives is what makes them spark their joy. And I love being the person that helps them find that joy. And it's difficult when we are severely underfunded. And with more cuts coming up, the first place they look to cut, you'll never guess, is electives, fine arts. These are the things that help enrich their minds, enrich their education, and we're a big part of the reason they come to school. It took me hours last night to draft that email to tell my parents, I'm sorry, I did not fundraise enough for your kids to go, even though they're exceptional. And these kids are all kids that come from low-income families or single parents, and it's devastating. I'm just asking you to please consider passing the plan because of the fact that my kids deserve more. The only reason I was able to get a college education was because of electives, because of funding. I had the privilege of growing up in Carson, even though I was poor. I went to a title school, Empire Elementary. And it was those funded programs that allowed me to make it to college. Otherwise, I would have not been here with 3 college degrees later. So please consider passing the plan and think about all the kids who are our future and will be in your seats. Do we want educated individuals that are completely funded in their schools or less? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Justin Javinis, Jervinis, and I'm a special education teacher at Marcyhurst Middle School. I've been in education for 15 years. I earned a master's degree in special education, and I also have 2 teaching licenses, one as a generalist and the other for autism. In addition, I'm a building representative for the Washoe Education Association. I serve students with autism, intellectual disabilities, and specific learning disabilities in a self-contained program. It's a challenging job, but I love the student population with all my heart. My classroom is calm, loving, and a happy place to learn. Imagine a bright blue rug, 2 bean bags, student artwork hanging on a wall, and a student work wall of fame. Even though my students are well below grade level, they work incredibly hard and are always ready to learn. Whenever I receive visitors, they always feel calm, love, and happiness in my classroom. You should come over to my classroom sometime. Right now, we are living in a tumultuous time. Inflation is rising, stock markets are crashing, and housing prices are through the roof. Meanwhile, Nevada is 48th in the nation in per pupil funding and 45th in the nation in student success. Our governor's response to these rankings is to increase per pupil funding by $2 per student. Just $2. That's all. How would you feel if your salary increased by $2? Nevada cannot say it values public education enough with a $2 increase. If you want improvement in education, increase the per pupil funding to $700 per student and trust the schools to do their jobs. The students deserve the investment. Be brave and be bold. $2 is not enough. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. My name is Marcy Brodock, and I am a second grade teacher at Natchez Elementary on the Pyramid Lake Indian Reservation, and I'm sorry if I get a little emotional today. Our students are coming to us with heartbreaking stories, and every teacher gets like one or two, maybe a year. When I was in Montana, I would get a couple, but half of my students are coming to me with traumas that are unexplainable. I have students with parents who are in jail for homicide. I have students who are having their parents hauled away from them by the cops in the morning for drug-related issues. My students are coming to me with trauma, and I am trying to wear multiple hats. I'm trying to give them academic support. I'm trying to give them counseling and therapy support because we do not have the resources in our community to be able to provide these students with what they need to succeed. They come to me with trauma that arrests their development, meaning that their cognitive ability is like overloaded by their fight or flight response. So I have to spend time every day making sure that they feel safe and loved before they can even begin to try to understand the academics that I'm throwing at them. I give up my lunch. I give up any kind of extra period so any student in my school can come into my room and be able to talk to me. I feel like our education system, it has a very positive momentum. We have the science of reading, the science of learning, and teachers are embracing that. We are trying to bring that into the classroom. We are doing everything that we can to make sure that our students have the success that they need, but we need more resources. We need more funding, and honestly, teachers need to be paid more for the hats that they're trying to wear to be able to make sure that their students succeed. My heart breaks every single day when I have a student that comes in and tells me that they had to sleep outside last night because mom kicked the boys out of the house because dad is because they're getting a divorce. Like, there's just so much going on, and there's secondary trauma that teachers are having to deal with on top of making sure that our students feel safe and loved and happy. Like, when my students come into my classroom, I want them to feel like they can have a childhood, but I also need to make sure that I am meeting their academic standards, because that is how I am viewed as a teacher, is by the standardized testing results is what determines my success, not how my students feel at the end of the day. So I am just begging you guys to make sure that you really truly invest in public education. $2 is not enough. I only have 124 students in my school. That's only $400 a year. That is not enough for us to be able to provide these students with services that they need to be able to help them become successful. We need community support, we need school support, we need licensed therapists in our school, and we need our teachers to be able to be paid more so they can be compensated for the time that they're actually giving up. Most teachers do not get a lunch. Most teachers do not get their time off at the end of the day. When the school bell rings at 2:30, I'm not off. Maybe when the school bell rings at noon on June 7th, I might be off for a couple of months. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for what you do.